Okay, we've been recording the last track on the album. The track's called Rivers of You, and it's scored for quintet, piano, double bass, drums, flute and soprano saxophone. Some fabulous musicians I've been playing with here today: Paul Booth on the sax, Richard Bailey on the drums, and Tim Thornton on the double bass.
Yes, I didn't know you had him on this.
Well,
I wouldn't have kept on.
Which does the
You do more than you do other tunes today as well.
Yeah, but not from scratch like this.
Okay.
So after we finish this, Richard is going to lay some drums down, which have a couple of tracks, which have everything else with the drums.
Oh, great.
And then I'm going to do some solo, just piano and voice stuff at the end, and then do overdubs.
It moves one quite early.
On the rest of the album, there's quite a few songs that I'm singing on and playing piano and playing keyboards on, but there's 2 purely instrumental tracks on the album, and this is one of them. It's been a really, really magical session. It's been a great feeling to hear a piece of music that's been in my mind for a long time and on paper for quite a while suddenly come to life in such a beautiful way and in such a vibrant way. And it just felt, when we were playing, like we were on some sort of wave. It was a really, really lovely feeling, and it's just very satisfying to have finally recorded this piece. But it certainly came out the way I imagined it in my head, with added layers, which was even more incredible, because that's not often. I think that's what's so wonderful about writing music, and writing music for certain musicians or certain instruments. It does come out the way you imagined it in your head, because you're writing, some precise notes, and you are injecting your ideas into it, and with a great bunch of people, you can completely bring it to life. Somebody asked me, how would you sum up the album? The thing is, it's a huge mix of so many styles. I trained as a classical pianist, so I grew up listening to people like Schubert, Beethoven, Mozart, Schumann, Liszt, so a couple of the pieces are very classically inspired, but then in my teens I obviously got into rock and folk and jazz, so there's a kind of folk tune, which I guess is inspired for sure by Joni Mitchell, and then there's a funk tune, and then later in life I went to live in Brazil for 3 or 4 years where I studied Brazilian music. So there are 2 or 3 pieces that are very bossa nova inspired, samba inspired. Music for me sometimes corresponds to colours. Each note on the piano could be a different colour, different hue. So I think the idea of a kaleidoscope, a kind of multicoloured musical palette of many different genres is, I thought that suits the style of this album.